Hello gamers, here is Mumbai and welcome to another Ravenfield modding update, a series where I give you a quick recap of all the mod related things I made for Ravenfield, this time for August of 2026. And yet again, it's been quite a while since we've seen each other here, however this time I explained my absence in the previous video to shift the focus with this one purely on the Ravenfield stuff. So yeah, we got around a year worth of stuff to catch up to, so let's get right to it. Starting with like the biggest thing I have probably ever made, and definitely the coolest one, the Wild West collection, including over 50 different weapons and 4 skins going from the American Civil War up until the end of the 19th century. I've been working on this pretty much since I started modding the game well over 3 years ago, trying to bring every iconic gun from the American frontier, with a lot of lesser known ones, as well as some weird prototypes as always. Revolvers, lever actions, single shots, double barrels, Gatling guns and cannons, pretty much everything cowboy related you can think of is here. I even made some Confederate guns for that extra Civil War action, and it seems all that effort paid off seeing as my mod climbed up to the top of the workshop page. Just like the Interwar collection, I will be regularly updating the mods, fixing all the bugs and adding new guns and skins whenever I feel inspired. But speaking of the Interwar collection, let's talk about Bulgaria. As the winner of the last vote on my Discord server, which you should join if you want to participate in those votes, Bulgaria was actually pretty easy to make, mostly because they just didn't have that many unique pieces of military history to begin with, and the stuff they did have were mostly modified foreign equipment I already made, like the Vickers tank or the Mannlicher rifles. Still, the most time-consuming thing to make was easily their Krupp LKB tank, simply because to model it, I firstly had to model Panzer 1B, for which I had to model Panzer 1A, for which I had to model MG13, and yes, I made them all functional, so at least got some new stuff for the future Interwar German pack. That said, I'm still not done with Bulgaria, because since the release, I managed to find a few more things I could model for them. And in fact, I made a lot of new stuff for all their packs too. Starting with the Polish pack, the first bigger update I released in July added 3 new vehicles, including Sokół 1000, the first bike in the whole collection, as well as huge improvements to every land vehicle, bringing them to the same quality as my more recent packs. And the second update I released in November added 5 more vehicles. This includes what I believe is the most requested vehicle in the whole collection, 25 TP, a huge 3-turreted tank, which, while not being very documented in English, is very much a real design from the period, as well as massively improving planes in the pack, with the most visible change being the color that got changed to brown for more historical accuracy, as well as making the roundel on the planes into an actual texture and not a mesh like it was before. Yeah, I didn't know how to put textures on vehicles back then. Another pack that got some new content added was the Russian pack, starting with 4 new vehicles and a lot of improvements to the old ones, mainly the planes, as an Astra Anasal was moved to a bomber slot and got a new gunner seat at the back, with 2 new fighter planes to replace it. Secondly, we got 2 new weapons, Tokarev automatic rifles from 1912 and 1980, to give Russia some more automatic action. And lastly, the Russian skin got a big improvement for a better and more accurate look, as well as getting an alternative in the form of the Cossack regiment. Another pack that got an alternative skin is Albania, which got a World War I era uniform. And its Balkan neighbor finally got a submachine gun with the Mauser RF, a weird Yugoslav version of the C-96. Estonia also got a new weapon in the form of Arisaka, which, fun fact, I modeled all the way back in 2023, when I first made the Estonian pack, and only now I decided to release it. Now lastly, we got Hungary, which got 3 new weapons total. An FEG semi-automatic rifle, one of the 2 semi-automatic rifles Hungary made at the time. I didn't feel like making the second one. And 2 placement guns, an AA version of 31M and whatever this is supposed to be. This is also a good moment to talk about boxes. Basically, since the Interwar era MGs were made for dwarves or something, they are pretty short. So short that on a lot of maps they are just too short and can't shoot over the cover. So to counter this, I just put the shorter ones on some boxes, which fixes the issue while not making the look out of place. There's a lot more smaller improvements and fixes for everything, like giving working headlights to every vehicle, improved particles, and fixing all the bugs I got messaged about. This is also where I wanted to mention something I was planning on making for a longer time. my own Ko-fi page. So, in case you don't know what that is, Ko-fi is a platform that lets creators receive donations directly from their fans. And since I'm making most of this stuff for free, and some extra money would always help, I thought it could be a good idea to try something like this out. So, if you ever wanted to directly support my work, now you have a chance to. Now, let's move to the commissioned works, since there's a lot to unpack here, starting with the biggest one being the Earlock collection. Earlock is a personal world-building project of Varwim, who commissioned a few Ravenfield modders to make stuff from it into the game. I got commissioned by him to make the 3 main packs for donations of Vastia, Laura and Kobia, which includes a lot of skins, vehicles and weapons, with some of the most interesting and unique designs I had the opportunity to work with. There really is a lot to see in all 3 packs, so I highly encourage you to try them out yourself, alongside all the mods from other creators for a complete Earlock experience. Another few smaller commissions include the M1128 Strakel Assault Gun with 2 camo variants, the KS-23 Shotgun Pack, which includes every variant of the very iconic and very powerful Soviet shotgun, yes, even the weird bullpup variant, LVTP-5 Cold War era amphibious APC, which back when I released the mod was still in use by Taiwanese military. The M2E2 Browning, which wasn't even intended as a standalone mod, but since I made it for Striker, the client wanted me to release it as well. The Novgorod Monitor, the infamous Russian Circle Boat, and the last huge commission I want to talk about is the UNSC Weapons Pack, which includes all the iconic guns from the Halo game series, assault rifles, pistols, a freaking machine gun that appeared in a single concept art. It's a part of a collection of mods called Ravenfield Halo Project, which includes weapons, vehicles and skins from like literally everything in the series. I was commissioned to make the UNSC weapons, and in fact I'm still not done with the commission as there's few more guns and equipment the client wanted me to include. And speaking of, it's time for everyone's favorite part, the upcoming things, starting with the Interwar collection, for which, well, I'm preparing another nation. So if you remember, the countries that were supposed to be voted in next were Turkey and Greece. Well, the thing is, because of one gun I found very cool, I also included Brazil in the vote. I wasn't expecting it to win really, but it did. So yeah, the next pack in the collection is going to be Brazil. In fact, I've already made a lot of things for it. For my next thing, well, if you know my mod, you know that I usually release 3 packs per nation. A weapons pack, a vehicles pack and a skins pack. All nations had it like that except for 2, Lithuania and Albania. That's because I simply couldn't find any weapons for them. As far as I was aware, they use designs identical to other nations, so I decided to just not give them anything. Turns out I was wrong, and both Albania and Lithuania did have unique weapon models, so you can expect me to make them very soon. In fact, it's very possible I might add stuff in the future for like every Interwar pack, since I and people on my Discord just keep finding new stuff. Even Polish weapons pack, which I was sure is just done for, well, turns out has new things discovered I could add. Other than that, I am working on many smaller things, like few commission pieces, and of course, I think everyone asks me about, the upcoming Duania remake. I have been adding a lot of new stuff to it, as well as remaking everything from the old packs, to the point that I have everything I wanted mostly finished. And while I can't tell exactly when it's all going to release, since I am a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to my original stuff, I can tell for sure that it's going to be later this year. And that will be everything for this month. I will try to make these sort of videos more regularly now, alongside my major mod releases. Links to all of my mods, my Discord server and my social media are in the video description. My album for today is one that got me into a genre of music I would have never expected myself to enjoy this much. In Silico by Pendulum. As always, huge thanks to Zombie101 and everyone on my Discord server for help with the research, Miseczka for help with the script, as well as everyone who commissioned me for supporting me in what I do. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!